Hey everybody, I hope you're having a great afternoon. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about water quality, and water testing. So what I've done here is I've got two samples of water. I have one from a house, which is on a rural municipal supply, and then I have some water from our well. And what I want to do first is go through this test kit. This test kit I found on Amazon. It's about $20. I've used it. It's pretty easy to use, and the results are very easy to read. So for just a local home type water quality test, and this one tests for 21 different parameters. It has 2 bacteria tests and 120 test strips. There is a QR code on the back for directions, plus the directions I've actually been using are the ones in the package. We have this little canister here. It's a 17-in-1 with 100 strips. There's color coding on the back that will compare our strips to. We have a little water, something to suck the water up out of the jar for these samples. This one, for example, this is a sulfate test. It'll test for sulfates and sulfides in your water. This one is the nitrates and nitrite test, so we'll test for that as well. And then inside, I'm going to do a bacteria test on both the house and the well water and see what those results are. So everything comes in here. It's very simple, very easy to use. The instructions for this are on the bottle and online, but it has this colorful chart on the back. And with these instructions, immerse the strip for 2 seconds and promptly remove. Let it wait for 15 seconds, and then we'll compare it to our chart. It's that easy. So the first one I'm going to do, my fingers will get in this thing, is I'm going to do I'm going to test the house water. And again, I'm going to put this in for about 2 seconds, and then we're going to wait 15 seconds to see the results. While we're waiting for these, I'll test the well. So we'll put that in for 1001, 1002. We'll take it out and sit it down right there. So while we're waiting for that, we will go ahead and do the same with our well water. These little strips are colored also. That's what we're going to match on here when we look to see what the results are of this. Okay, so I've tested both of those. We've had plenty of time to test these, and I'll bring you guys over closer in the sunlight where you can see the results of these in just a few minutes. But all we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to put it next to the chart that's on here and compare the colors. And it will tell you the total hardness, the free chlorine, the amount of iron, any mercury present, total chlorine, copper, lead, zinc, manganese, fluoride, sodium chloride, hydrogen sulfide, total alkalinity, and then if there's any carbonate in the water. So you just compare those color strips to that. It is truly that easy. When I did this before, I felt like it was very accurate and did a good job. So we'll come back and I'll show you those results. On the nitrates, we're going to hold it in there for 2 seconds, and this will take about a minute for the results. Waiting longer so far on my testing, it didn't change the colors at all. It's just, I think that's the minimum. So again, on these little packets for the nitrate test, there's a color chart on here for nitrate and nitrite, and 2 little bars, and we're going to test each one of those. So we're going to do the house water first. Take it out and set it down next to it so I know which is which. And we'll do the same for the well. Okay, so that is our nitrite test. And the sulfate test works pretty much the same way, except you have to hold the strip in there for 5 seconds. And then wait for a minute and a half. So I'm pretty sure I can ramble on for a minute and a half and talk about some other stuff while we're waiting on these results. So this just has the one color to match up on it and a color chart for the sulfate. So it's easy to tell what's what. Okay, and that's about 5 seconds. We'll do one for the well also. Okay, so we've got the results ready for that. Now, the next one is a bacteria test, and it's super easy as well. This little packet, it has a positive and negative chart on here. There's a blue piece of paper in there. There's some dotted lines on it, and we're going to add water from each of our samples to this, just between that, and then we're going to lay this flat. This test will take about 48 hours to find the results, and basically we're going to look to see if we have any bacteria colonization on our test strip within 48 hours. So I'm going to do the house water first. Again, I'm going to turn this around. I'm going to use our little siphon here, pull up some water. And all of this stuff was sterile and clean when I started. I cleaned the jars, I cleaned the testing, and I let the water run for a bit before I got my sample. And a little bit more. Just want to get enough water that's between those dotted lines that are on this. Now, I don't want to contaminate my sample, so we're going to take that and dry that off. Once you have your bag full, you're going to close this up and you're going to lay this flat, and that blue strip in there will get very wet. That was the one for the house. Now, real quick, I'm going to go grab another one of these because I have a lot of these in my lab here, and I'll get a clean one so we don't contaminate our sample. All right, so I've got a clean one now. Basically, I'm doing the same thing. I'm just going to do the bacteria test for our well water and wait 48 hours. If we come back with any negative results on either one of those, I will share those with you. I don't expect it. I haven't seen it in our other tests, but if it does, I will let you know. So I'm just adding the water to the, again, between those dotted lines on here. Take a few times to get my sample enough water in there. Almost there. Just a tiny bit more. Okay. All right, so then we're going to seal this one up. And there we have it. This will get that all nice and wet. And then we'll find out if there's any bacteria. The bacteria, if there's any in there, there's yellow that shows up on the little blue paper that's in there, and that's what we'll be looking for. So let's take a look for just a second at the test results for this on our house water. We're going to compare these. Total hardness is kind of in the middle at about 50. Free chlorine is very, very faint, maybe 0.5. Iron is pretty much 0 in the house. Mercury is 0. Total chlorine is 1 part per million. Copper, almost 0. Lead, 0. Zinc, about 5 parts per million. That's interesting. Manganese, 0. The fluoride, which we don't like. Never drink your water, municipal water. It is probably 25-ish, 25 to 50 parts per million. Sodium chloride is about 50 parts per million, and so on. You're just matching these up to see what your results are. And for the nitrates. Nitrates and nitrites, they're both 0. It's just there's no color on the tab at all on either one of these, either for the well or for the municipal water, so we're not finding any nitrates in that. And then for the sulfate, which is just 1 bit on there, the well water tests for sulfate, looks like about 250 parts per million on the well, so there's some sulfate in that water. And from the municipal water from the house, about the same, about 250 according to this test. So if the water chemistry is important to you, knowing what's in it is valuable information, whether you live on a farm, a homestead, or live in the city and you want to test the city water on your own. So the bacteria test we'll have to wait on. Again, if there's any negative results for those, I will bring that back to you. But I really like this little test kit. You know, we just moved to this homestead a couple of months ago, and it was really important to my wife and I to test the water and find out, you know, in an emergency, is the well water drinkable? And you know, if we have a water outage or there's some contamination in the municipal supply, even out here in the country, we want to know about it. So we have plenty of tests to do for that. Even though we have the municipal water and we have our well water, which looks like it's pretty safe, we still don't drink our water without running it through a Berkey filter. And we have the large Berkey in the house that we always run our water through. I have this travel Berkey for when I travel for work or homesteading or consulting or any of those things. This is a really cool setup. It comes in a little bag. I won't take the whole bag out, but what I want to show you is the Berkey water filter setup itself. So we have, this is the container that has the filter in it. This is the container that the water goes into, and this will do about a quart at a time. So when I travel, I'm staying in a hotel room or camping or whatever, this I always take. So whatever my water source, it goes through here for cooking and drinking. It also has this nice cap that goes on there to keep anything out. And it also has, if you're familiar with Berkeys, they have this little primer. So it's both to clean it, to get all of the water out when you're finished using it, and to prime it for first time use. So all of that is in here, and very, very handy and easy to use. To store it, one fits inside the other, and it slides right down inside your bag. Also inside here in the Berkey kit, there is it says it's PBA free. It says it's good plastic. Still not a fan of any plastics in my drinking water. But this, for travel water, you can put water in here, and it has a filter in it, and then you squeeze it, and water comes out the straw. So, and then you can close it completely, and it's got a little hook. You can put it on your belt. That's pretty handy. So whether you're camping, homesteading, I really recommend running your water through some kind of a filter. Reverse osmosis is great. We've had good experience with water quality and water testing out of those, but if you're traveling or for your homestead, these Berkey filters, I just don't think you can beat them. We don't store any of our water ever in plastic. We don't drink out of plastic bottles. The contaminants that are in plastic bottles of all kinds, including bottled water, which we try not to drink, is very harmful for us. So we have jugs like this. This is all stainless steel. So we drink mostly out of things that are stainless steel and metal and as little plastic as possible. So just wanted to bring these to your attention, especially the drinking water test kit. Give this a try. Let us know if you have any results that are interesting, or let us know what your water quality is. You can also go to the EWG, Environmental Working Group, and for whatever zip code you live in, you can look up what the water quality for municipal water are, what the water quality is, and whatever test results are available. But you can test that. The Environmental Working Group, or EWG.org, is a great resource for all kinds of things, for water, for foods, for personal hygiene products, cleaning products. There's a lot of information there, so I highly recommend it. If you have any comments or questions on this drinking water test kit, please leave them in the comments below, and we will see you on the next video. Please like our video, please subscribe. Really does help our channel out. And again, if you have any comments or questions, be sure and leave them for us, and we'll get back to you soon. Thanks, and have a great day. And I'm going to go back and enjoy the woods on this beautiful fall day. Thanks. Bye-bye.